Okay, let's talk about the world of construction and infrastructure, what we call the built environment. For the longest time, this industry has run on a pretty simple idea. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, guess what? Things are breaking. And the story of why reveals a revolution that's happening right now.
It all starts with this number, 50 years. For half a century, while basically every other industry was making these huge leaps forward, the built environment was just stuck. It was wrestling with this problem that was quietly holding it back. So what on earth has been the issue for so long?
Right, so this 50-year struggle, it really boils down to one key thing: stagnant productivity. It's a problem that's been kind of simmering under the surface for decades, but now it is absolutely reaching a boiling point.
I mean, think about it for a second. Manufacturing, logistics, even finance, they've all been totally transformed by huge gains in efficiency over the last 50 years. But the built environment, it's largely been left in the dust. And this isn't just about building things a little slower. It's a fundamental issue that has created this urgent, desperate need for a complete rethink of how projects get done from the ground up.
But here's the good news. This isn't a story about being stuck. It's a story about a massive breakthrough. We're at this incredible turning point where two powerful forces are coming together to finally break this 50-year cycle.
And here they are, innovation and technology. It is so important to see them as two sides of the same coin. Innovation, that's the mindset. It's about creating a culture where people are always looking for a better way to do things. And then you have technology. That's the toolkit. It's the actual hardware and software that makes those new ideas a reality on the job site. You really can't have one without the other.
So let's be super clear here. Innovation isn't just some buzzword for new ideas. It's about the successful implementation of those ideas. If a new process doesn't actually make things more efficient or improve performance, it's just a neat experiment. Real innovation delivers results you can actually see and measure.
Okay, so if innovation is the goal, how in the world do you get there? Well, it all starts with building the right culture. And this is where we have to move past the buzzwords and look at what it really takes to create an environment where new ideas can actually survive and, hopefully thrive.
This quote just nails it. Innovation isn't some happy accident. It's a deliberate choice. It demands a conscious effort from leadership all the way down and from the ground all the way up. It has to be something you're actively chasing, not just passively hoping for. This is the simple, unavoidable truth of it all. The reason we've had 50 years of stagnation is because the industry has relied on conventional approaches. If you want a different result, you have to break that pattern. You just can't solve today's problems with yesterday's methods. Simple as that.
And this is where project managers, the PMs, become the absolute linchpin in all of this. Your role's really threefold. First, you've got to be the expert who knows what's new and what's coming. Second, you have to be the champion who helps create that innovative culture. And finally, you have to be the driver who actually puts these new behaviors into practice on site.
But of course, a new mindset on its own isn't enough. It needs a toolkit to make it real, and that's where technology comes in. These are the tools that are literally reshaping the worksite and bringing this whole cultural shift to life.
Just let that sink in for a minute. 3 years of technological progress crammed into a single year. This isn't a slow crawl anymore, it is a full-on sprint. The industry is finally making up for lost time, and it's happening at an absolutely breakneck pace.
So, what was the catalyst for this huge leap? You guessed it, a global crisis. The pandemic basically forced the industry's hand. All of a sudden, things like remote collaboration, digital workflows, and safety monitoring weren't just nice to have, they were essential for survival.
And the benefits of being forced into this new reality became undeniable, fast. We're seeing way better integration, where designers, the supply chain, and the on-site teams are actually all on the same page for once. We're seeing real, measurable productivity gains that directly tackle that 50-year slump. And maybe most importantly, we're seeing increased health and safety, using tech to protect the most valuable asset in the whole industry. It's people.
Now, this tech explosion in construction isn't just happening in a bubble. It's the built environment finally catching up to this massive global movement called Industry 4.0. The so-called Fourth Industrial Revolution is all about automation, data, and connecting everything. And believe me, it has officially arrived on the job site.
So, we have the right mindset, we have the right tools, but all of this change, the culture, the tech, it all comes down to people. Which brings us to the most important question of all. What is your role in making all this happen?
This is where it gets personal. You are not a bystander in this transformation. Project managers are the central players.
You're the ones on the ground who will make the final call on whether a new technology actually succeeds or fails. You are on the front lines of this revolution.
Ultimately, the very definition of what makes a successful project professional is getting bigger. It's not enough anymore to just manage budgets and schedules. Success today requires a whole new skill set. You've got to understand innovation, you've got to oversee tech implementation, and you've got to be able to navigate all the new risks that come with breaking new ground.
This isn't some far-off hypothetical future. This is happening right now, today. The industry is at a historic turning point, finally waking up from that 50-year nap. The technology is here. The cultural shift is happening. The only question left is the personal one. How are you going to lead the change on your projects?